Alright, so, like I said, welcome back to the Tears of Artenon dissection, analysis, fanboy, whatever you want to call it. It's all three. So, like I said, I'm going to go through this chapter by chapter. Read chapter 1, go over it. Pause, read chapter 2, go over it. Pause, read chapter 3, go over it. You know. So I just finished chapter 1. 17 pages long, I think. Technically not. I believe. Hold on. Yeah, it's 15 pages long. Hold on, it's 2. Anyway, so like I said, the chapter starts off with Gavril doing Altissa. Her name's weird. Altessa Astasia Orlova. Yeah. Altessa Astasia Orlova. And then you have Eupraxia, caretaker, basically, the watch person. Obviously, Altessa is a noble. Miriam and the Muscabar, whatever you want to call it. And Gavril is painting her portrait. And so, they almost do this clever idea where she's like, last time I got through this so much easier when you explained to me this territory. But you didn't talk about yourself. Talk about yourself. Maybe that'll distract me and I can sit here a little more easier. And that would have been a clever way for Gavril to, for her to tell about Gavril without having to do it by some kind of stretch means. But, he's like, how about you tell me about your party last night instead? She's like, oh, yeah, I'm bored. And danced with a bunch of dumb people. And he's like, well, was your fiance there? She's like, no, there is no fiance. He's like, oh, I just assumed, given the whole point of me doing your portrait. Like, not yet, no. This is basically so her dad can go up to a bunch of nobles and be like, this is my daughter. She's hot, right? You want to marry her? Yep, selling his daughter off via the portrait for political gain, political blanket security, I guess you could say. And throughout the entire interaction, they're like very flirty with each other. Gavril's getting flustered and getting butterflies. And then Eupraxia finally shows up and is irate, that she's alone with Gavril. She's like, if I would have known it was Gavril and not Alicia, his mom, I would have said no. But then she's like, what are you read too many romance novels. Look at the painting. It's great. See you tomorrow, Gavril. That kind of thing. So, he stays there doing the touch-ups and stuff, and he's like, but I gotta see you. I gotta see you one more time before I go. So, like an idiot, a lovesick puppy who just can't get her out of his mind. Like, his mind is just Altissa. So, he walks there. He basically just walks to the party and nobody bats an eye, despite the fact that he does not look noble at all. And he sees her standing next to her brother, and he stares at her for way too long. And she finally notices him, makes her way toward him. Like, basically, he's like, shoot, no, don't want anything, don't give me anything. Finally makes her way to Gavril, and she says his name for the first time, Gavril, right? Up until now, she's only called him, like, Meister Andar, for formal reasons. So he's like, it's really nice hearing her say my name. Effortlessly. Like, I wish I could have her say my name every night, essentially. And then she's like, have you ever heard of fate? Like we were meant to meet, like we were meant to be. The whole flirting thing comes up again. She dances with him. He can't help himself. He kisses her. They look to the night sky. And he's like, "There's something really weird about this guy right now. Like, I've seen so many summer storms, and this is not normal feeling." So he's like getting a dreadful feeling. So he's like, you should go inside. When her brother comes in, is like, "Hey, yo, you raping my sister?" Essentially, 'cause that's what I'm gonna say has happened. And Altus is like, "No, no, 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 no. I invited him. Back off." He's like, "All right, well then I'm just gonna kick him out and cancel, him doing your thing because you can't be seen with his dirt painter. It's dumb." The entire time, even in the painting thing, Gabrielle was like, "I'm doing the exact opposite of what my mom told me not to do." She told me not to get invested into the person you're doing like the commission for, but he couldn't help himself. 'Cause he was falling heads over heels, infatuated with Altissa, and vice versa. She was infatuated with him because she sees her opportunity of finding someone herself slipping away. She's about to be just sold off to the highest, most powerful rich man that throws the most money and political safeness her dad's way. So, Gabriel's kicking the dirt, kicking the sand. He's like, "I'll just skips rock, depressing." And he's like, "There's a black cat, and it's making me feel suffocated." So he like rushes home, gets in the house, locks everything. He's like, "Wait a minute, I didn't lock the chimney." How you lock a chimney, I don't really know. But before he can even do it, the dark shadow comes in, and he describes it the same way: demon serpent. And basically, like, he struggles to get away from it, but it still washes onto him, and it like takes him into some kind of vision. And Gabriel doesn't understand what's going on. It's like a dirty place, very bleak. And like I said, he doesn't really know what's going on. He just realized there's a guy standing here, and obviously there's like some confrontation going on. Bada bing, bada boom. Dude's dead. There's multiple people in the room, so there's multiple people who just killed this one man who seemed very important. And then Gabriel finally wakes up from the thing, and the Dracul, because it is the Dracul that washes over. Like, I'm not gonna play dumb here. I know it's the Dracul, the demon serpent. They they set it up with the prologue to this, so you would know it's the Dracul. It's basically saying, look, remember, remember. Because it's like, hey, I want you to avenge your dad, so you need to find all these people in this vision I'm showing you right now. Avenge your dad. So then he gets up, it's the morning, goes to the sink, he's basically throwing up. Here's the hooves. It's like, is that Orlov? Is that Andrea Orlova? Is her brother coming to beat me up again? Is Altissa with him? I'll get beat up if it means seeing her. And then his maid, or whatever, housekeeper, goes to the door. Mom comes down, tells her not to. She's already opened it. The guys come in. She's like, God, really? And, they're described as like hair's long, braided, tattoos, like almost tribe-like, but not really tribe-like. So they all get down on their knees. They're like, "Master." He's like, "What is going on?" They're like, they're in tears, saying, "Your dad's dead." And Gravel's like, "My dad? What's going on here? I have no idea what the hell you guys are talking about." So his mom's like, "Oh, so Volk's finally dead, huh?" And Gravel's like, "Get with Volk. What's my dad? What is going on here?" They're like, "We've come here to take you home to Escandir, Asgandir." Oh, Azakandir? I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm just gonna say Askandir. Yeah, they tell him they've come here to take him to Askandir, or back to Askandir to basically take the throne as the new Dracholm and to avenge his dad, but they haven't told him about the avenging dad part. And he's like, what are you talking about? Smarna's my home? They're like, yeah, no, bro. Asgard did it. We're taking you home. And that's basically what the chapter is. So it's a good chapter. I really like it. I like the chemistry between Altessa and Gavril. For the longest time, I was a diehard Gavril Altessa shipper, I guess you could say. I wanted them to be together so bad, because they seem so natural together. And I liked Altessa. Her character's really cool. She's very playful. She's very energetic. She's a really good character. Like, she's a really good person. Same thing with Gavril. He's smart. He's hopeless romantic. You know, fucking lovesick, narrowed in on Altissa and all that stuff. But aside from that, he was smart. Interesting enough. Not straight up sarcastic or anything, but he had enough personality to grasp you. And then this chapter is basically only them two, essentially. But their lives are just leading in two different ways at this point, and so we'll find out a little more in chapter 2. So I'm gonna read that now. I'll get back to you in chapter 2. All right, chapter 2 is done. So the word I was thinking of was barbarian. That's how they were described, as barbarians with many tattoos. And something that tied into this chapter was the mentally and emotional state the Dracul, the demon servant, has on its host, the Dracul. They heavily imply about it without you actually knowing about it. Because you really don't figure out that's what it is until you read Gavril kind of going through it and coping with it. But the beginning of this chapter starts with, Gavril asking his mom, Alicia, about his dad, essentially. Like, who's my dad really? Why are these guys wanting to take me to Askendir? And what's a Dracul? What is going on? Like, this is my home, not Askendir. Smarna is my home. Isn't it? She's like, well, it's my home. I grew up here. And ironically, she goes into a story about how she met Volk, which was the same way he met Altissa. Volk came to Smarna to get his portrait done, and after he was done getting over the shock of it being a woman, they talked and they started to like each other. He seemed brutish, handsome, and like he had color and personality, and all the other men in her circle that were options and suitors were colorless. Then she said, slowly over time, not all at once, he changed. I never realized his temper, his destructive temper. Like, everything that would happen. And then she went on to talk about how she has regrets or thoughts about what if I stayed? Could that helped him? Am I responsible for the tyrant he became? She's questioning Volk as a person, why he changed, how he changed so destructively, and could she have done anything to stop it, to help it, to make him less cruel, to make him less of a tyrant, or whatever. And she talked about how she ran away, and she was caught and brought back, and then in the middle of the night, Volk came in and was like, hey, stuff's about to go down, you need to take Gavril and get out of here before I change. And she doesn't know what he means by that, but she knows it. She left, and a clan war broke out. That was that. And then, she left with the clothes in her bag and some money, but not a lot. But Volk sent her money periodically throughout, that little wave, possibly until she got her feet up as a painter or whatever. I don't know. And then, you know, she's like, hey, denounce your inheritance, You don't have to go. And that's when Kostya, uh, the main right-hand man, barges in and is like, no, he's the only heir. Yeah, I swore on the blood of my lord that I would take his son back. She's like, well, what's more important, your oath or his future? His right to choose. They get into that. He calls her a Draconess or something like that. It's sort of like Dracone, but I guess I say more feminine. She's like, what did you call me? She's like, you were his comfort, She's like, yeah, he had many. He's like, well, you were his favorite. You were the only one he actually cared about. After you left, he was inconsolable, dude. She's like, yeah, I wish I could believe you, but I can't. I can't believe you, because I can't forgive him. He was a monster. He was a tyrant. He was an evil man with a lot of enemies. But why he was betrayed and killed. But you'll come to understand that it's kind of not entirely his choice. The way he acted, the way he would change, like as a person. Because you even see the hints in Gavril. Because he's getting angry. Which you could kind of tell beforehand that the anger he's feeling isn't natural to him. That's not how he would naturally feel about the situation or the scenario. It's just how he's feeling, and he doesn't understand it. He doesn't understand why he's feeling the rage he's feeling. But you'll find out. Semi-spoiler, it's because of the Dracul. The Dracul kind of brings out the savage in you, the soulless part of you, almost. Your dark side, essentially. It pulls out the worst in you, almost. And I'm not going to spoil the dark part, but there's a really dark part to it. But, we'll get there when we get there. But yeah. So, they have this conversation, and Gabriel's like, well, I'm not a servant anymore. I'm not a servant painter. I'm the Dracone, whatever that is. So he's like, and, he's still really infatuated, and he's still really focused on Altissa. So he's like, I'm going to go there. I'm going to request an audience with the Grand Duchess Sophia. And I'm going to be like, hey, yo, I lay claim. Kind of like Altissa, Nastasia, And they're like, what's your servant boy? And he's like, you don't know who I really am. I am Gavril. Lord Gavril, Dracone of Iskandar. Which, he's like, I've been outdated as an impoverished, kind of traditional clan, whatever. But, he's a lord. It's better than nothing. He's not a servant anymore. He's almost on the same level as Altissa, which gives him some claim, But he gets on the beach and he feels like the dark wave, and he's like, I'm being stopped, but I can't see anything. And then it's Kostya. Kostya's like, hey yo, you walk pretty fast. Nice to know. Nice to know. Means we can make you into a good Bogacha. He's like, what the hell's a Bogacha, dude? He's like, warrior. He's like, bro, I'm not a warrior. I'm a painter. All right, let's get this straight. He's like, we're gonna make you a warrior though. Being Dracon comes with enemies. So yeah, he's like, look, bro. I'll come to Askendir on my own time, but I still got stuff to do, right? He doesn't tell her about, or he doesn't tell him about her, Altissa. That's his, business that he wants to get into before he goes to Askendir. Huh. Yeah, escape. It is 2:13. But he turns around and he gets Cassier's like, yeah, bro, I ain't got time for your business, and just knocks him straight out. He falls to the ground, passing out, wondering why me, essentially. But yeah, they really do. And these first two chapters, they set up kind of like Gavriel's early mindset of like just being infatuated and wanting to be with Altissa, and you know planting the seeds of the Dracul kind of symbiotic partnership, because it is a host thing. The Dracul needs a host, and it's the Dracul. So Gavriel is the host for the Dracul, and the Dracul wants to avenge, Volk. And what better way to do that than Gavriel, his blood son. So, and they really sort of hint at the sort of mentality change that the Dracul has on the Dracon, which isn't looking good for our boy Gavriel, honestly. But it is what it is. I mean, that's basically what these two chapters do. They set up the Dracul-Dracon relationship, Gavriel's fondness for Altissa, his sort of personality, her personality. She's betrothed, or she's been betrothed to Eugene. I don't know when he figures that out, but it's one of the things he mentions when he's on the beach. He's like, I gotta go stake my claim before they just ship her off to Eugene right away. I think it's because that's who her dad's like kind of on the Rockies with. The political stuff that Smyrna residents have like not a scant of an idea about it, because they're never really affected by it, because they're just a small town off somewhere where rich people come and hang out for a summer, for a week or whatever, a vacation spot. So yeah, that's chapter 1 and 2 of Lord of Snow and Shadows, which is Askendir, by the way. It's a description of Askendir. And Gavriel, because Gavriel is becoming the Lord of the land of Snow and Shadows. Which they actually do mention in chapter 2. It's like, roll credits. That's all you need. They said it. So, yeah. And with that, I'm going to wish you a good one. It's late, and I need to go to bed. I would do another chapter, but I'm too tired. I'll do 3 in the next video. So, I don't know. Hope you have a great day. Remember, you can be best, you possibly, you can like, comment, if you will, like, super special. Awesome. Subscribe to them, that really help me out.